Welcome back to episode 8 of On the Wild. I'm Riley Keenan, here once again with Anuj Basker.
Yep, we took to our Instagram. We're going to start off heavy with some questions. We asked our Instagram followers to give us some questions, do a little Q&A. The first question, if you could play 10 minutes in an NBA game for the whole season, could you score 20 points in total?
Okay, so I'm playing 82 games.
Yeah.
And I'm playing 10 minutes a game.
Yeah.
I'm getting 20.
Yeah, because, if you think about it, I'm the worst player on the court, so they're going to pay more attention to other players, right?
Yeah. And, if I'm guaranteed 10 minutes, they're not going to take me out if I take a bad shot.
That's
so
true.
I'm honestly just pulling from three.
Yeah.
5 times a game.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to drive to the basket and hope I can get a couple foul calls. Because I can knock down some free throws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just going to spot up in the corner.
Yeah. I'm averaging a nice 0.7 points per game, but I'm getting to 20.
Yeah, definitely. There's no way I'm not getting 20.
Yeah,
I don't get I get they're NBA players.
Yeah.
And they're a bajillion times better than I am. But in 82 games, 10 minutes, how many minutes is that? 820? 820.
Yeah, sounds about right.
820 minutes. Divide that by 20. I'm not even going to try that.
Yeah, I thought about it for a second, but I don't want to embarrass myself.
That would be 41.
Yeah.
So
it's just
I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I'm getting 20.
If I can't get to 20, it's just it's sad. Because obviously, yeah, like you said, they're NBA players, but at the same time, they're not. Well, I guess they're gonna be locking you up.
Yeah, but let's say you're on LeBron's team and he drives to the basket. Yeah, he will find you.
Yeah, if I can hit a layup.
And out of everybody on the team, I'm the least of their worries. So they're gonna leave me.
They're gonna double everybody else.
Yeah, and leave me open for
exactly.
Free. And I'm gonna hit 20% of my threes.
Yeah. You'd hope so.
Yeah.
Because who knows? You could get hot and get 20 in one game. Who knows?
That's not happening.
I feel. What's the maximum points you think you could score in 10 minutes?
6, because I'll hit 2 threes.
I was gonna say 6. I'd say I either hit 2 threes or I hit a couple free throws and get lucky with a couple shots. I might just do hook shots and random stuff.
Or we may just be underestimating the NBA.
Yeah, we could literally imagine you just get in there and it's just Kawhi Leonard. Everybody would probably be Kawhi Leonard to you.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to try so bad.
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
One time.
Yeah.
So next question, best show on Netflix. What is your favorite show basically on Netflix?
That's so hard.
It used to be Friends for me, but Friends isn't on Netflix anymore. Yeah. But now, because you're one of the people who got me into it, along with one of our other friends, The Fosters.
Yeah, really good show.
Just getting into it now. I'm on season 2, episode, I think, 10.
Yeah. It's very with the times. There's...
it's very progressive.
Yeah. They're there's 3 kids. 2 of them are adopted. Mm. The parents are a gay couple.
Well, technically 5 kids.
5? Oh, yeah, right. 5 kids. 4 of them adopted. Yeah, there's a gay couple.
Where I'm at right now, 3 of them are adopted.
3. Yeah. Oh, well, my bad. But, yeah, The Fosters is definitely one of them. If I'm looking at it from, a sitcom perspective, I'd go, How I Met Your Mother, The Office.
I'm not a big Office guy. I've tried it many times. I'm just not.
Yeah. I found why. The Office is very love-hate. It's because even with me, when I started watching it, I didn't enjoy it the first couple episodes. I thought it was just kind of awkward and it seemed very weird. Mm-hmm. But once you get to know the characters and understand why they say certain things, you enjoy it more, and then you kind of understand the show a bit more. So I really like The Office, but I wouldn't even put that as. I feel like it's more drama that I'd probably like. So Suits, Prison Break, both 2 of my favorite shows ever.
Yeah, I haven't watched many shows. I'm gonna be honest, but. As of right now, I'll probably go with The Fosters, even though I'm not done it yet.
Yeah. If I'm... right now, I'd probably go... Suits is my favorite show on Netflix, but my favorite season of any show is the first season of Prison Break. It's insane. Just him trying to break out of the initial prison.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I need to watch both of those shows.
Yeah. So many people have been telling me to watch, Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad. Apparently those are, the 2 greatest shows ever. Mm-hmm. And I haven't even watched a single episode of either, so...
Right.
I'll get to that eventually.
The third question, we actually had a duplicate question here. What are 3 trades that are going to happen at the deadline, the NBA trade deadline? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
So maybe we could change this question to who we think is going
to be on the move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know any trade packages. I think Kyle Lowry will be gone from Toronto.
You think so?
I think so. Because I think that he's not going to re-sign, I don't think, after this year.
I don't know. I don't think he'll leave.
Yeah. I don't think he's like going to, like you said, he's not forcing his way out. He said he wants to retire Raptor no matter what, whether it's a 30-day contract or whatever. I don't think he's forcing his way out. If anything, I think it's just going to be another team making a really good offer. And the Raptors are like, all right, we're not going to pass this up.
Yeah, I personally would trade him just to get something out of him.
Yeah.
That sounds really like bad.
It sounds bad, but like at the end of the day,
you
like
have to move on.
Yeah,
at some point,
get some pieces, get a center, get someone that can rebound. Because Van Fleet's going to be your point guard. Norman Powell has established himself as he had 43 points last night. He's been averaging I think like 37 over his last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
he's a good shooting guard. They got a good roster.
If I were them, I'd trade. If he wants to go to Philly, I'd try to get Maxey and Thibault.
Yeah, if you can get both, you win.
Yeah,
but get at least one and then maybe a pick.
Yeah, I'd rather have those two than Kyle Lowry at this point.
Yeah, and the Raptors need to get it big. I've said it before on the show, but like their rebounding is just so brutal. It takes them out of a lot of like against Boston in the playoffs. Like even Boston didn't have great rebounders. They didn't have like Tristan Thompson back then, but they were just they were out rebounding them, and it just allowed them to shoot the ball a lot more and get to the free throw line a lot more as well.
Yeah, I think the Kyle Lowry is a good one. I also think Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah,
he may get bought out.
Probably Aldridge.
I think Aldridge is already on the way to being bought out.
Really?
I don't know if it's happened yet, but it'd be cool to see him go back to Portland.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
That'd be cool.
Because Whiteside will probably be gone. So that. Oh wait, he's on Sacramento.
He's on. Yeah.
Sacramento's got so many bigs. Holmes, Bagley. None of them have really lived up to the potential.
Holmes is good.
Yeah.
I have him in fantasy. He's actually pretty good. Whiteside just doesn't play enough.
Yeah. He was so great last year too. Like I'm surprised he hasn't really gotten that much of an opportunity.
I don't know why. I don't know if it's like an IQ thing or like people think he's lazy.
Yeah, I've heard that people think he's lazy. He's not necessarily like a locker room cancer, but he's not a guy you want on your team.
Yeah.
Per se.
Yeah, if he gets bought out, I can only really see him going to like a team like the Lakers or something.
Yeah.
Somewhere where they have like a guy who can control everything.
Yeah. I can see like there's just going to be a lot of players bought out and moving to teams like Brooklyn, both LA teams, Boston.
Yeah, and we talked about this last week. Like, it's just not. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see, but
it is.
It's the way it is.
But our last question we're actually going to save for later. We actually have some would you rather questions as well.
We were asked 3 would you rather questions. The first one being, would you rather be able to talk to animals or speak all human languages? That's really hard. Because speaking all human languages would be great for finding a job.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can talk to anybody. But talking to animals, man, no one could do that.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could talk to my dog.
Yeah, that's facts. I don't know. I'd probably talk to animals, to be honest.
I think I'd talk to animals too. Because, like, I just think of, like, when my dog's barking. It's like, what do you want? Like, I don't know what you want. You've had a treat. You've had your dinner. You went outside. What do you want from me? There's just so many times like that. And, like, it'd be kind of cool. Like, you can talk to a duck or, like, just anything in the wild.
Yeah.
Be like, please don't hurt me. Because then I don't think an animal would ever really mess with you again.
That's true. Like, you're getting chased by a lion.
Yeah,
how you get in that situation? Yo, no idea.
Chill. Yeah, how do you get chased by... If I'm ever in that situation, I messed up big time.
I deserve to die at that point.
Yeah. It kills me the people that like jump over zoo fences. Crazy. And then they get like hurt and then they like blame the zoo. It's like, what?
Yeah, they sue the zoo.
Yeah. What did you think was going to happen? Jumping into a gorilla tank? Or
literally.
Like,
there's a polar bear right there. What are you doing?
Yeah. And then we got something also to do with animals. This one, I would not want either to ever have to happen, but would you rather smack a puppy or get smacked by your dad in public? Both brutal. Just, I don't think I could hit a puppy. I don't think I could. You know those questions were like $1 billion if you hit this dog.
I'm hitting the dog for $1 billion?
Yeah, $1 billion is tough. I'm not hitting it hard. That's for sure. But smack a puppy, man, that's...
I'd rather get smacked than smack, let alone a dog, somebody, so I'll just get smacked.
Yeah, I'd rather just get smacked in public. That would be so embarrassing, though. Like, imagine just, like, the parents looking at you, like, what did the kid have to do to get smacked?
Yeah.
But then also, like, your dad would probably get in big trouble, because that's a no-no in today's society.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather get smacked.
Yeah, I'd rather get smacked.
Even
too.
if it was like a person, like, would you rather smack a person or get smacked in public? I'd just get smacked in public.
Yeah, I just take the smacking.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't know how powerful my slap really is. Dude, those.
I've never really slapped anybody before. Well, I probably have, but just not.
Yeah, like in elementary school. Have you ever seen those like slapping competitions? Like I know Logan Paul tried to start doing it, and he like knocked a guy out.
Yeah.
Like, oh man,
Imagine crazy.
Imagine getting knocked out by a slap. Like, how hard do you have to be? Oh my god, the mark on your face would be there forever.
For real.
All right, and then the last would you rather question we have: would you rather wake up in the middle of a good dream every single time and not be able to fall back asleep, or never be able to wake up during a nightmare?
We say that again. Never wake up during a good dream. Wait, no.
So you wake up every time you're in the middle of a good dream and you can't fall back asleep.
Oh. Okay.
Or never be able to wake up when you're having a nightmare.
The first one. So
yeah,
I wake up every time I have a good dream.
It's definitely the first one.
Yeah.
Which it sucks because like we've all been there when you're having just an unreal dream. Like I met Sidney Crosby in a dream one time and I'm like, this is the best day of my life. What cheeses me is when
I had the weirdest dream last week. I had a dream Atlanta drafted Trey Lance. I had a dream just about that. At 4th overall.
Do you want Trey Lance?
I wouldn't mind him. It's not going to happen now.
Your brain just inherently knows.
Yeah.
Maybe it could happen.
It went Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Jamar Chase, Trey Lance.
Sewell falling to 5, maybe?
Yeah.
Damn. Hey, maybe.
I mean, they're not getting Trey Lance now. They restructured Matt Ryan, but yeah, I wouldn't mind him because he looked good at his pro day. Now, it was such a weird dream. I woke up, I was like, what the?
Oh, dude. When I think about, like, the nightmares one, I had the worst nightmares as a kid. Well, not the worst. Like, I had a dream where I hated the Grinch as a kid. Like, the Jim Carrey Grinch terrified me. I had a dream where he was chasing me around the McDonald's play place. Like, dude, first of all, claustrophobic. Like, just running around that little thing, and you got that little green guy chasing you. Terrifying. And then the other one was I had this reoccurring dream, like, 10 times as a kid of the Terminator chasing me. And then I hid in like this little like not like forest, but there was like a hedge, a circle hedge, and every single time I hid in there and every single time I thought, oh, he's not gonna find me. Every single time he did. I points a gun at me and then boom, wake up. It's like, how does that stuff work? Like, I'm so curious as to how dreams work and stuff like that.
We're not smart enough to understand it. But
and like the have you ever heard like the deja vu theory of like every time you get deja vu, it's because it's something that happened in your past life. Yeah. And you're like reclaiming that knowledge or that moment, but you still like have no idea what really happened.
But sometimes I'll be like doing something. I'm like, I swear this happened to me in a dream.
Yeah. In a dream, or you're like, I've done this.
Yeah.
But you're like, there's no way I've done this before.
Yeah.
It's so weird how that works. There's so many, even like last week we were talking about the one question you want to know. There's so much I'm curious about that. Will we ever actually get answers? I don't know. Yeah. I hope so.
Facts. For our last question, we wanted to save this one for last. Thoughts on the Grammys and what it's turned into?
I'm pretty passionate about this. I don't think I'll watch the Grammys anymore. Is
really?
The best way to put it. Just, it seems as though over the last few years they've lost kind of touch with the whole goal.
Yeah. I've never been a huge like award show fan. Yeah. Or like I've never really watched the Oscars or the Grammys or the Golden Globes or anything. But I've noticed that the Grammys have become more of like give it to the person who like would make the best headline rather than the person who made the best music.
Yeah, like Nas got Album of the Year or Rap Album of the Year.
Yeah, Nas.
It's his first Grammy, I think.
Yeah, it's about 25 years late.
Exactly. And then
like, Illmatic happened.
Yeah, like
it exists.
One of the greatest albums ever. And the fact that it's his first Grammy is just ridiculous. One of the things with the Grammys is I've noticed is they won't give it to someone when they actually deserve it, and then they regret it, and then that 5-10 years down the road, they're like, all right, they'll get it now because we didn't give it to them before. So it's like a pity win. But then that screws over the current people, and then the cycle will just continue.
Yeah, and the fact that Nas got his first Grammy from King's Disease rather
like,
than something like Illmatic or something.
Like, yeah, I don't even think he deserved to win. Yeah. Which is like,
I haven't listened to the album, but a lot of people are saying Freddie Gibbs should have won.
Yeah, I heard that a lot too.
And then I have to listen to that album because I didn't listen to it, but I mean, if he deserved it, he should have got it.
Yeah. And then I look to like Megan Thee Stallion winning best rap performance, like featuring Beyonce. Beyonce.
What does rap performance even mean?
I don't even know, because I thought people were talking about like is the performance from the previous year, but it's literally just, it's basically like best rap song, I think.
So they're just two rap
Yeah,
songs?
she won both. I mean, Beyonce's verse was good in the song, but
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, I don't think Megan Thee Stallion should have 3 Grammys. And like, she won best new artist,
too,
which is
right?
fine. Like, and don't get me wrong, like I'm not hating on Megan Thee Stallion. Like she in the 2019 Double XL freestyle, I thought she was like top 2 freestyles. Like her and Cordae both killed it. I don't know if Jid was in that class, but he was really good as well. And her cipher was great. She's a good rapper. Savage isn't her best work. It shouldn't even have been nominated. And I look at other, like, that's the thing with the Grammys. I think they've become
it's the most like mainstream.
Yeah, they focus on mainstream and popular rather than best.
But then again, the box didn't win anything.
Yeah, like how does that win because it's a popular song from TikTok?
I'm not a big box person.
Yeah,
like I always thought the song was like good, but it wasn't like
exactly
great.
And
but
like
still, if with its popularity, if that's what we're doing, then it should have won.
Yeah.
Something.
And then like with popularity, like Bop was there for DaBaby. Like that
I hate
wasn't
Bop.
his. Yeah,
I
like,
hate it.
That wasn't his best song from the year. What's Poppin' was there from Jack Harlow. That's fine. The Bigger Picture I get. Dior Pop Smoke, like that from like early 2019. I'm pretty sure. Like how is that even?
It wasn't even older than that.
Yeah, I thought it came out in like 2018
I've heard
originally.
Dior's not old song, but I swear it's
been hearing it for
it's
years.
been around for a couple of years.
Yeah, and like what we're saying with popularity too. Like I see that Watermelon Sugar won for Harry Styles for, I don't know, pop song maybe. Like I actually listened to Harry Styles' album Fine Line. It was a really good album.
Was it?
And like how, from what I saw, like Watermelon Sugar was like the 4th or 5th best song on the album.
It's just the one that
it was the one that blew up on TikTok and everyone started listening to it.
Yeah. My whole thing with award shows and the Grammys, whatever it is, how do you determine who made the best music? Because music is so opinionated.
Yeah, like from that Playboy Cardi video we posted, like music is very subjective. People are not happy in us saying that Playboy Cardi, our opinion on Playboy Cardi.
Yeah.
If you like him, it's fine. Like
we literally said that.
Yeah, all the power to you.
Whatever.
But I'm just not a fan personally.
But like if you look at when you determine an MVP in sports, you look at their stats, you could look at
team success.
You can go next level with stats, like PER, whatever.
You can get analytical with it.
How do you do that with music?
Exactly. Like, and music,
if you like it or not.
Yeah, music you can't rely on streams because like people say like, oh well, it's very subjective, like the Oscars. But the Oscars, people aren't pissed when the Oscars happen. Like they'll give it to someone over another person, and people will be a little frustrated. But more often than not, they get it right, and it's just who had the best performance, not who was popular. You don't ever see the Avengers or Marvel movies in the Oscars because they're not like necessarily critically acclaimed. So why are the Grammys not the same thing? Like guys like Eminem are literally saying like, I'm not even gonna go anymore. Like it's just a publicity.
The Weeknd
song.
isn't even submitting his music to it anymore.
Like it's ridiculous.
How he didn't win or even get nominated. The Weeknd didn't even get nominated.
Yeah, I thought After Hours was the best R&B album from the year, personally.
But Blinding Lights, didn't it set records?
Yeah, like he had like 3 songs that blew up.
I don't know if it broke stream records. Was it on Billboard for?
Yeah, he was on Billboard for a while.
Yeah,
Blinding Lights and Heartless. Like I thought that album, and it's so unique too. Like with Savage, it's just like, what are we really saying by that winning? It's not like. It doesn't need, like what I'm saying is, it doesn't need to be a great lyrical song, but like even that, like it's just catchy and it's like not really doing anything for the music industry. And then I think back to like,
I'm not a huge lyrical person. I'm not a huge like, oh, it has to be.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a certain way.
Yeah.
But like I think back, they just also, it seems like they're out of touch. Like Tyler the Creator wins rap album of the year.
Was that last year?
Yeah, last year, and. It was, if you really listen, it's hardly a rap album. It's very alternative, very indie 88 radio kind of thing. He's trying something new, and he wins best rap album.
Yeah. Who did he win it over?
I'm not sure. I think, out of the nominees, like he was quite deserving. Like it was a good album, but he shouldn't have been in that category.
Yeah.
And then I think like back to 2018, like Cardi B wins Invasion of Privacy over Swimming, Victory Lap, Astroworld, like.
Yeah. It's just what's the most popular thing. And this isn't like a new thing. Like if you go back to 2013, I think it was 2013.
Yeah.
The Heist won.
Yeah.
Best rap album over
Good Kid,
Mad City. I'm not a huge Kendrick fan, but what?
Yeah, like it makes no sense.
It also won over, what was it? Yeezus.
Yeah.
Which at the time it wasn't as liked as it is now. But
Yeah,
still,
that album's,
come
a
on.
lot of Kanye is very ahead of its time.
Yeah. A Jay-Z album. I forget which album it was. And I think Born Sinner.
Yeah.
I think those were the other
Yeah,
nominees.
like, come on. Even Macklemore, right? You said
Yeah,
that
he texted Kendrick Lamar after the show. He's like, yo, you just got robbed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
Like, that's the perfect example of how, like, popularity just took over.
Yeah.
You know, the heist he had, Can't Hold Us, I think, and, like, Thrift Shop. Those
Thrift
were
Shop.
very popular
Very,
songs.
very, very mainstream songs.
But they're just choosing the popularity over what is actually the best.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
'Cause that's the whole point.
yeah. And even, like, Drake, like, he won God's Plan for, like, best
Remember when
rap song.
And he ripped the Grammys.
Yeah, he ripped it.
And they cut him off.
I remember watching that and being like, yes. Because I remember he looked at Travis and was like, doesn't make sense. It
No,
really doesn't.
he said, like, if you're a guy from Houston, like, I forget what he said, but he's like, if you're a guy from Houston, if you're a guy from the Bronx, which was for Cardi B,
Yeah.
and he was basically, like, ripping the Grammys, and they cut him off and went
Yeah.
to break.
Because he even said, like, this doesn't matter. You know, like,
Yeah.
this whole spiel, everything we're doing doesn't matter. And what matters is what the audience likes and what the audience enjoys. Basically saying that, like, nothing is right. Nothing is a declared winner.
Yeah, because the Grammys are all, like, opinion.
Yeah.
As long as you have a fan base of people who love you and love your music, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Which I agree with.
And, like, don't get us wrong. Like, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, both great artists. They make
Yeah.
good music. It's just, though, like, can you really say Invasion of Privacy was the best rap album from that year? It had, like, one good song on it, and then the rest, like, people can't even name them.
Exactly.
And these other albums are ones that, like, Astroworld, like, Swimming, these albums are going to, for years and years, people are
Yeah.
going to be listening to them. I don't think 10 years from now, people are going to be bumping Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy.
Yeah, maybe a couple songs, but
Yeah.
yeah, they have to go.
It's just like, figure out what you want from your award show, and then people will respect it more and watch it more. There's a reason why it's kind of fading away.
or maybe make like more categories, just like
Yeah.
top streamed song. Well,
Yeah.
that's not even an award. 'Cause that's
Yeah,
just a
it's
stat.
just literally a stat. It's so tough. I feel like they just need to get a lot.
I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, like,
Who's in the commit? Who votes?
that's
for
what I'm
this?
saying. Like, the committee needs to be very diverse. It needs to be, like, I don't know if it's all straight white males or stuff like that, but,
I
like,
don't know.
it needs to be diversified, and they need to take in a lot of stuff in consideration when making the decision.
My whole thing, and it's the same thing for like when you go to sports and with the Hall of Fame. How can the media vote
Yeah.
for who goes into the Hall of Fame?
It should even
because
be-
if the media doesn't like you, and we saw it with T.O.
Yeah, Terrell Owens. Like, every player that played with him and against him would say, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
First
like, he was
ballot Hall of
Yeah,
Famer.
he's one of the best players I've ever seen
and they
in my
made
life.
him wait 3 years.
Exactly. Like,
Whereas somebody like Calvin Johnson, I think Calvin Johnson is a first ballot
Yeah.
Hall of Famer. But if Terrell Owens isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
yeah, exactly. You need to figure out a basis.
Stay consistent with it and keep the same energy for
Yeah,
everybody.
set a precedent and abide by it. Don't
Exactly.
go, like, you can go off course and give it to someone kind of randomly and it'll be like, oh, an upset. But like, don't go completely out of the blue with it. Because, like, the Grammys are predictable in its unpredictability. Because you go in there and you're like, okay, there's no way Savage is going to win. It's going to go to, like, the bigger picture. Because, like, the bigger picture was huge for this year. It
Not
told
only
us-
was it a good song, but it had a great message.
Exactly. The message told the story of the year. Like, it's like this, it's bigger than black and white. Like, all these notions that go on. Like, why doesn't that win? Obviously, I'm not saying it needs to be something that is beyond what we've heard, but it should be something, you know, unique and not stagnant in what we've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how you fix this, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Because, like, my whole thing is, like, what if the committee just doesn't like your music?
Yeah.
Then what?
Like, I'm sure there's a lot of artists that come out and they're like, okay, I don't mess with this. Like,
Yeah.
because it's not for, like, Travis Scott isn't for everybody. Kanye West isn't for everybody. But you also have to understand, like, the wider range and the audience that they have.
You have to go into it with, like, an open mind and, like, understand what this is supposed to be.
Exactly.
And understand it for that, not for what you think it is.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm looking at who Tyler, the Creator, was nominated with. It was Dreamville, Revenge of the Dreamers, which was a great album. Meek Mill, Championships.
Yeah.
21 Savage, I Am Greater Than I Was, which I really
would
liked.
have given it to that.
I would have given it that. Or even Corday for The Lost Boy. It was his first ever album. I thought it was really good.
If I'm talking about rap album, I would have given it to 21 Savage.
Yeah, I'd give it to 21 or Corday. Because, like, first of all, they're both actual rap albums, but they were, like, the best of its class. Tyler, the Creator, don't get me wrong, that album was phenomenal, but it's not a rap album.
Yeah. To end off the episode, we're going to be talking about NFL free agency. Started up a couple of days ago.
Before we get into that, I wanted to quickly talk hockey for a second.
Okay.
Quick little rant. I think it's time for the Frederik Andersen era in Toronto to end.
I agree.
Yeah. Here's the thing. A lot of the time, and Leafs fans over the last few years in the playoffs have blamed defense for the reason why they lose. Mm-hmm. And I can understand that. Jake Gardiner makes a lot of mistakes. But at the same time, your goalie's got to be able to bail you out. And if we're talking about last year's playoffs against Columbus, Frederik Andersen played great. He was a phenomenal goaltender throughout that series. But in years prior, he wasn't able to bail the Leafs out late in games. And yes, you could say, he had a 35-save game. If they're just shooting pucks from the point or taking weak shots, a lot of the time, the teams play the Leafs, they'll just shoot the puck a lot. Leafs take high quality chances rather than quantity. A lot of teams, when they play the Leafs, get a lot of quantity of shots. Frederik Andersen is one of the top goalies in the league in wins based on the team's performance, and yet he's got a 2.85 goals against average. He just barely hit 900 on the save percentage, which if you're a high-level goalie in the league making $5 million and hoping to get a big contract next year, that can't be your numbers, especially if you're on a great team. And we're at the point in time now where you can't really blame Leafs defense for the reason why they lose, because TJ Brody has been phenomenal. Jake Muzzin's been one of the top defenders in the league defensively. Dermott's been great. Bogosian's been great. Morgan Riley's been good as usual. You can't really blame the Leafs defense for them losing. Frederik Andersen gives up 22% of his goals are 5-hole. Put your stick down on the ice and don't let it happen again. That whole time they played Boston and they collapsed. Not the initial time in 2013, but in 2018, Jake Gardiner made those 2 mistakes and they scored. Both goals should have been stopped. The Jake DeBrusk sliding on the ground, that can't go in. I get that defense can make mistakes, but your goalie's got to bail you out sometimes at the end of the day. And a team like Montreal, when they're playing in front of Carey Price, they're not playing scared. They're playing aggressive, and they're going, let's go get a goal because we know our goalie's going to stop us if we make a mistake.
Facts.
With the Leafs, they're scared to make mistakes because they know if we cough up the puck, it's going in the back of our net. So I think it's time for the Frederik Andersen era to end. I think Jack Campbell's the right move in goal. Obviously, he's got to get healthy. Hutchinson should not be playing. He's quite brutal in net. So Andersen, we can roll with him for now, but he should not be signed next year. If we can trade him, I'm down. But yeah, I mean, you could say it's a dumb point, but back when Babcock was coaching, I always had a problem with Babcock. I thought he was a little overhyped with the Red Wings. He was the coach of a superstar team that beat a 22-year-old Sidney Crosby in the final. And then he comes to the Leafs. My problem with him, he would always, guys like William Nylander should be on in the last shift of the game, and instead he'd put out a guy like Komarov or Marleau. Older, not as fast, not as great of a goal scorer. The decisions he made, I just didn't get. And now I think we're seeing the same kind of thing with Frederik Andersen. We'd like to say, it's not his fault, it's someone else's, but I think we need to look at the reality of the situation in that he is not the number one goalie they need. Now let's move on to football.
50, and I agree. Free agency just started. I wanted to talk about this because I have a hot take coming out of free agency so far. The Patriots are going to win the AFC East.
That's hot. That's a hot take. Yeah.
Sound like Paris Hilton.
You know what? It's a possibility. I don't know if I could pick the Patriots over the Bills because I think the Bills have made their defense stronger. I think their offensive game is going to be even better with Allen a year older and Diggs and him connecting. But with all those Patriots signings, they're definitely going to be a contender.
Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne,
Judon,
Kyle Van Noy, they got him back.
Jonnu Smith,
and Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith isn't a huge name coming from Tennessee. I've been watching a lot of Tennessee because Atlanta's new coach is coming from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith is really good.
He's a baller. I had him in fantasy, and at the beginning of the year, he was balling out.
He's really good, and he can run block, and he's a great target.
Yeah.
And he's big.
And having Hunter Henry as like the second option, too.
If he can stay healthy, he'll be...
Yeah. Blocking's going to be a lot better. That's going to make Cam Newton have a lot more time in the pocket. I think Cam Newton can be really good. Obviously, he's not going to be MVP Cam Newton.
I'm one of those people who think that Cam Newton is still good.
Yeah.
I don't think he's washed.
No.
Like a lot of people are saying. Because you have to understand, he went into New England and had to learn a system that's been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
That doesn't fit his skill set.
Yeah.
And they added more runs, obviously. But he didn't have a full off season because he signed in, I think, July, right?
Yeah, and the whole COVID thing's going on.
He got COVID, and he even said it on a podcast that when he got COVID, the team kept going, so he had to catch up.
Yeah.
So he had to think more. And literally any football player will say, like, the less you think, the better you are.
Yeah.
So I think now having a full off season, better weapons, getting to learn the offense, and having the coaching staff build an offense around the talent that they have, I think they'll be good enough to where, because the defense is going to be good again.
Yeah, the defense has always been good in New England. And now, like, with Cam Newton in his second year, I think the second year is really going to be indicative of how his play style will be with the Patriots.
I don't think he's going to be 2015 Cam Newton, but if he can be 2017 Cam Newton, to where he can hold his own and score points, because he has the weapons now.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be a superstar. He just needs to limit his mistakes and stay poised in the pocket. If he can make a quick run easily. He was one of the, I think he had like 15 rushing touchdowns.
Something crazy.
Yeah,
like
if he can just, make his throws in the pocket, stay accurate. He's got a lot more weapons than he had the previous year, and now he's going to know the system a lot better. And Belichick at the same time is going to understand what his strengths and weaknesses are. So I think the Patriots are going to be a serious contender.
And now he has I don't know about Super Bowl contender.
Yeah,
but I think they'll go 11-5, and I think they'll tie with the Bills, but they'll have a tiebreaker over the Bills.
You think so? Yeah, I could see them beating the Bills, but when it comes to playoff time, I don't know if I can pick the Patriots over the Bills or some of the deeper teams.
I'll say this, though. If they don't win the division, the Patriots are the one team that you do not want to play.
Yeah, they're going to be like the Buccaneers this year, where it's just like, that's going to be a tough game. Yeah,
you just don't want to play them because they have the coach and they have a quarterback who's been there before. Yeah. Even though he's not that same level, he's been there before.
Yeah, he knows what it takes. Yeah. And I, kudos to Belichick. He really went out and got guys, and the morale on the team has to be a lot better right now.
Definitely.
Just the fact that they're like, all right, he believes that we can be successful. Let's go out and get some guys. Let's go out and win some games.
Exactly.
Like, it's going to be a very different Patriots team that we see this next year's season.
Yeah, I think they're going to be really good.
Yeah.
Other teams, I think the Cardinals improved a little bit.
Yeah, they picked up A.J. Green. Obviously, they got J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what A.J. Green could do. Is Fitzgerald going to be back next year?
I think so.
That'd be
I'm not even sure.
Like, looking that wide receiver core, Hopkins, Green, and Fitzgerald.
It was 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was 4 years ago. That's nuts.
But yeah, I think A.J. Green can be decent enough to where in the red zone, he'll be a really good red zone threat. They also got Rodney Hudson, center. He's a Pro Bowl center. And the NFC West, just feels like everybody's getting better except Seattle.
The Seahawks, yeah. And this whole Russell Wilson thing's going on still. Yeah. Like, they just need to figure it out. They're not trading him, I don't think. No, there's no way they trade him. They still have a good roster, and they can contend.
Their roster isn't...
They need to improve upon it, but it's still a playoff team.
Yeah, for sure. I think what they need offensive line help. They just traded for Gabe Jackson from Oakland, but they need a lot more help because they haven't been able to protect Russell Wilson his whole career, really.
Yeah. And you can see it throughout the season. The first half of the season, they were doing a pretty good job of it, and he was being able to get downfield, and he's had a lot of time in the pocket. And then at the halfway point, it just seemed like they were kind of giving up. Yeah, like there were a lot of plays where he just had absolutely no time in the pocket. And it's like, what can you really do with that?
Exactly. It doesn't matter how good your quarterback is if you can't protect them.
Exactly. You saw it in the Super Bowl. Mahomes couldn't do anything. He's one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen, and he couldn't do nothing.
But yeah, this whole free agency thing, I don't know about you. There hasn't been obviously I said the Patriots are going to win the AFC East, but there hasn't been a team where I felt like, okay, they made a move to make them a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, it seems very similar to what it was last year. Like, guys just kind of on the move to different teams. No one's going to the big team. Yeah, it feels like.
I mean, the Chiefs got Joe Tooney. He's an offensive lineman, so it's not like a...
After they dropped both Schwartz and Fisher.
Which I actually understand why they did that. But
I get it, but it's weird.
Yeah.
Because so many people blamed them losing because they didn't have those guys. And then they're like, all right, we're going to cut them loose.
Yeah, they got Joe Tooney from the Patriots. Not like a high,
Yeah, he's like a... He's
a really good player.
Yeah.
But it's not like a flashy signing.
Right.
Which is what they needed, but I feel like there hasn't been any,
Yeah, there hasn't been anything crazy. I was really surprised that Aaron Jones signed back with the Packers.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake.
Yeah, because I thought A.J. Dillon can be their guy.
Yeah,
and they
Jamal
paid him,
Williams.
Yeah, Jamal Williams has been good too. They paid Jones a lot, and it's not like his impact has been.
And because of that, I think they lost their center because of that, and he was an All-Pro last year.
Yeah,
I'd rather have the center than the running back. I don't know about you.
Facts. No, yeah, I'd probably rather have the center, especially with their build on their team.
A center of that caliber is your most on the Packers offense. He's their third most important player.
Yeah, it's crazy how much offensive line can really take your team to that next level.
You saw it with the Browns.
Yeah, literally.
Not last year, but the year prior. I remember you every Monday coming in complaining about the offensive line.
Oh, it was brutal. Like every play, just a guy coming in from the left and Baker having to run to the right and not having enough time to make a throw.
Yeah, and then you saw this year.
Yeah, this year he's had all the time in the world. And like at the beginning of the season, they were decent because they had a couple rookies there. But then as they started to like understand the position and their role better, like they were firing on all cylinders. Like I think they could be really successful. Okay. And I think Baker has taken that next step. I don't think he's a star in the league by any means.
He's really good.
Yeah, he'll be their franchise quarterback. He'll be able to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I don't think they're in the now, but I think they have an opportunity to contend.
Yeah. I think I love free agency because it really like opens up the draft and like what teams are going to do. But I feel like nothing's really changed.
Yeah.
In terms of like what I think is going to happen in the draft.
Are you happy about the restructuring of Matt Ryan's contract?
No.
No. Did you want so that
I understand it though. It's actually kind of smart because I think next year is when the cap will go way up.
Yeah.
So they're basically turning this year's cap hit, which was $40 million, and transferring that over to next year, and basically like swapping the years.
Yeah.
Which is smart, but at the same time, I don't want to restructure a 35-year-old quarterback's contract.
Facts.
They've restructured Matt Ryan's contract 4 times in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's at a point now where it's like, how many more times can you do it?
Exactly. And at what point do you draft a quarterback?
Yeah.
Because at some point, like I feel like the Falcons are going to be a much better team this next year.
Yeah, I think so too.
They're not going to have as high level of a pick. So do you take a quarterback now to ensure that you're going to have success in the future, or do you wait?
Here, the thing with that is, if they didn't restructure Ryan, I would have said yes. Because I was warming up to the idea of drafting a quarterback.
Yeah.
Because I was on the side of like draft Sewell or trade back, get Kyle Pitts. I love Kyle Pitts, by the way. He's my favorite player in the draft.
Really?
He's a tight end. He's like 6'6", 250. He's fast. He's like the best tight end to come out. People are saying ever.
Yeah, people are saying like he's a generational talent.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Like one of the draft guys, I think it was Mel Kiper, he said that Kyle Pitts is like he's like the one guy in this class where he would say he's like a Hall of Fame lock.
Yeah, and I feel like tight ends work really well in the Falcons system. I remember watching Austin Hooper because like when he signed with the Browns, I was like, all right, got to see what this guy could do. He was great on the Falcons.
Yeah, and you saw Hurst last year. He's a free agent next year.
Yeah,
just imagine having to guard Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, facts.
You literally can't.
And imagine if Gurley can like pick up his game a little bit more
Gurley's
too.
Done.
You think he's like?
I think he's done.
Kind of like Adrian Peterson when he came back, and it was just like, yeah, he's not the same guy.
No, Adrian Peterson, when he came back from his knee injury, he ran for 2,000 yards.
No, I mean like when he came back again, like after all the like allegations and stuff.
Oh, I think Adrian Peterson's better than Todd Gurley right now.
Right now?
Yeah. Trust me, Todd Gurley isn't it.
Yeah, he's not. He's a shell of himself, which is so sad to say because he was such a beast.
He was going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, on the Rams, like he was their number one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he's the face of their franchise. Yeah. Won Offensive Player of the Year. I feel so bad for him because he was so talented.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of guys are coming out of the woodwork and just dominating and then getting hurt, and then their careers are just like, obviously we've seen it throughout sports a lot, but it seems like running backs, which makes Joe's point from a couple episodes a lot more makes a lot more sense because it's like if they get injured easier, but the elite ones are the ones you got to go out and get.
Yeah, because at the time that Gurley got paid, he was the best, maybe the best player in football.
Yeah, you could make a case for him being the best offensive player.
Yeah, and you can't not pay him.
Yeah,
but like,
it's hard.
It obviously hasn't worked out. But
exactly,
you can't not pay him.
Yeah, is he signed through this season as well,
or no? It was a 1-year contract. He's a free agent right now.
So who do you think they're gonna run with at running back?
I think they're gonna draft somebody. I think I want either Javonte Williams out of North Carolina or Ramondre Stevenson out of Oklahoma.
I actually know who that is. He's good.
He's like 6 foot, 240, and his comp is Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
which makes sense because Atlanta's head coach is the Tennessee OC from last year.
That would be a good move. It's the NFL is very different from other sports. Like as soon as you get drafted, you can be a huge impact to your team. Like I see with the Browns all the time. Like their defense was just all 4th, 5th, and 6th round picks from the last couple of years.
I think the best move in free agency though was John Johnson though.
I
going
was
to Cleveland.
I was ecstatic with that signing. I wanted Harris initially.
He can do everything.
Yeah.
He can play in the box. He can play deep. He can do everything.
He's exactly what they needed,
end.
too. Like,
Yeah.
I was saying it so much. Like, they need defensive backs because their coverage deep on wide receivers has been brutal.
And he's 25 years old. He's literally the perfect safety.
Yeah. And he played in a Rams system where he developed so many skills and knows.
Yeah.
Like, he's gone late into the playoffs as well. Like, he knows what it's going to take to win games.
Exactly.
And he'll be able to rub off on the younger guys, too.
Yeah, I love John Johnson.
Yeah. And then signing Rashad Higgins was huge for them, too, because they're, like, Cordell Hodge and Peoples-Jones are solid receivers, but they're not really going to get it done late in games. And I really don't know what they're going to do with OBJ yet. I don't know if they're going to keep him or not.
I'd trade him.
I would trade him, too, but I really want to see what he'll look like, because I think they can figure it out. Because I think going into this year, the media's not going, oh, like, we get the ball to OBJ. They're going to be going, get the ball to the open man. Mm-hmm. And that was the problem with the Browns for so much.
The whole thing with that, though, is it's no coincidence that as soon as Odell Beckham got hurt, they took off.
Yeah, they figured it out.
And I think you just have to carry it over with a team that got you to where you went.
Yeah.
So trading Odell Beckham, who knows? I saw something saying, like, trade him for Gilmore.
I'd take that in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
So I heard the Patriots may try to trade him.
Man, and OBJ would be perfect for them to take in.
Him and Cam Newton are really close.
Yeah, it's tough because you want to give him a couple games to see like what he can really be like with the team, but at the same time, if he doesn't play well, his value will drop. Mm-hmm. But if he plays good, then you could get a crazy offer.
Yeah.
So it's really tough. It's tough to make the decision.
Yeah, or he trading to Green Bay maybe.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of teams like the team that makes the most sense to me is Baltimore, but you won't trade in division.
Yeah, they wouldn't go for that unless they can get like Patrick Queen or like Humphrey, which they wouldn't give.
Yeah,
up.
I don't think they're gonna trade with each other.
It really needs to be the right move. You can't just give them up for like a decent player and a pick. Like it has to be like something that's gonna help you out right then and there.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm very excited because I feel like there's still a lot of stuff to happen.
Yeah.
In the NFL,
still a lot of moves to make.
Whether it's Deshaun, I was about to say Deshaun Johnson, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Or whoever it may be. I think there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot could still go down. A lot of trades that can be made too. This seems like one of the years where, like, I've never seen as many trades to go down as there have been in recent history.
Yeah, there's definitely free agency just started. It's gonna heat up going into the draft. But yeah, I think we're just gonna wrap up right there.
Yep.
Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, comment down below, and we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, stay well.
Peace.